I just wanted to start this video saying I googled how to pronounce this man's name, and this was how Google recommended to say it. On May 18th, 1882, 26-year-old Dolly Huntsman married 20-year-old Margaret Ellen Fouch. Margaret and Jarvis would have 13 children together, 6 girls and 7 boys. Elsie, Deborah, James, Calvin, Ether, Otha, Verda, Goldie, Frank, Roy, Sylvester, Dolly, and Jacob. Margaret would have her children from the age of 21 to the age of 47. Now, out of the 13 children, 3 would pass away at a young age, and as you can see, they are all buried together in this grave. This grave caught my eye because I noticed it was 3 children, and they are kind of off to the side in the cemetery by themselves. Margaret and Jarvis started their family in Ringgold County, Iowa, and sometime in the 1890s, they moved their family to Douglas County, Missouri, and they started a farm. Of the 3 buried here, James William was born first on July 15, 1885. He must have gone by Riley since that's the name they recorded on his stone. 2 years later, on November 21st, 1887, Calvin Orval was born. Again, he must have gone by Orval since that's what they inscribed on his stone. Riley was the first of the 3 to pass away on October 19, 1899, at the age of only 14. His family buried him in Tedrick Cemetery in Douglas County, Missouri. Sadly, Orval passed away only 3 days later, on October 22, 1899, at the age of 11. They laid Orval to rest next to his brother. I found a source that said Orval and Riley passed away due to a fever epidemic that was going around in the county. 9 years after the boys were laid to rest, Dolly was born. Dolly was born on January 21, 1908. She only lived for 7 days, and she passed away on January 28, 1908. Her family buried her next to her 2 big brothers. After losing Dolly, the Huntsman family welcomed their last child, Jacob, in 1909. Jarvis's obituary stated they moved to Decatur County, Iowa in 1922 to help care for an invalid granddaughter. I looked up what this meant, and apparently invalid is an outdated term that meant their granddaughter was unable to care for herself due to a chronic illness or a disability. I believe this granddaughter was Violet Huntsman. Violet lived in the same county, and she passed away at the age of only 14 due to tuberculosis. She had an obituary added to her Find a Grave page, and it said she attended school and Sunday school during her early years, but she had been confined to her bed for the past 3 or 4 years. It also stated, among her many gifts was an abiding faith which helped her to bear her long illness, which covered a period of a number of years, uncomplainingly and with marked patience. She died smiling in her mother's arms, having asked to be taken up but a few minutes previously. On Find a Grave and several ancestry sites, someone has linked Violet as Jarvis and Margaret's daughter, so they must have been very close, and I'm guessing her main caretakers. I don't know which one of Jarvis and Margaret's kids had Violet. I wasn't able to find out that information. After Violet passed away, the Huntsmans remained in Iowa. Jarvis passed away in 1930 at the age of 74, and Margaret passed away in 1951 at the age of 89. Jarvis's obituary stated, he was always thoughtful and never made a decision without thoroughly considering everything. He was always willing to give good advice to those who asked it. He was a useful life both in the home and community, and one that will be greatly missed. Margaret said she was a kind and loving wife and mother and will be sadly missed by her relatives, friends, and neighbors. Margaret and Jarvis are buried together in Lamoni Rose Hill Cemetery in Decatur County, Iowa. Several of their children, including Violet, are buried there as well. My family tree showed that I'm not related to the Huntsman children, but my husband is. The Huntsman children are his 7th cousins, 5 times removed. Thank you for watching. Rest in peace, Dolly, Orval, and Riley.